rest of the country, it's a lot of cloud, mist and fog in places and outbreaks of rain. That rain turning to sleet and snow, particularly over the mountains of Wales and the north of England there. And in the southwest, as I said earlier, it has brightened up a little bit, but there will be some heavy showers coming along there later on this afternoon. And generally cold throughout, temperatures only around 4 centigrade, that's 39 Fahrenheit. A little higher, though, in these southwestern areas. And then tonight, well, there's going to be little change, basically. The far north of Scotland will get away with the driest weather again, with a slight frost and a few snow showers. But elsewhere, a lot of cloud and outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow. The sleet and snow particularly on the high ground, but also possibly on some of the lower ground, say, from the Wash across to Liverpool Bay northwards. And in the south, although the rain may ease off for a time later on today, there will be further bouts of heavy rain coming along later tonight. That's it. Good afternoon.
Well, now on BBC One, a bulletin of news for the south. Good afternoon. The bass guitarist of a pop group formed at Ford Open Prison in Sussex, who absconded last week, has given himself up and has been taken to Wandsworth Jail in London. Graham Beardwell from Brighton, whose group Reach Out recently released a record to be sold in aid of charity, gave himself up to the police at Littlehampton on Christmas Eve. He was serving 3 years for deception. The governor of Ford Prison, Mr. Leslie Cave, said he would serve the rest of his sentence in a closed prison. 3 people have died in road accidents in the south over the Christmas holiday. A woman driver was killed in a crash involving 3 cars at Hailsham in Sussex last night. She's not yet been named, but is believed to have come from London. A 78-year-old woman, Mrs. Patience Howells from Hamworthy Pool, died when she was hit by a motorcycle near her home on Sunday evening, and a 27-year-old Reading man, Christopher Sadler, died when his motorcycle hit a tree at Mortimer near Reading in the early hours of Christmas Day. But generally, traffic in the region has been light, and there have been few accidents. An inquest is expected to open later this week on a 32-year-old pub licensee who was found dead after a Boxing Night fire at Salisbury. Mrs. Mary Earle had run the Salisbury Arms pub single-handed since the death of her husband 5 years ago. Police in Dorset are looking for 4 men who stripped and robbed a 19-year-old man at Wimborne on Boxing Day. The men offered him a lift in a green Vauxhall Viva and then drove him around the district for half an hour before ordering him out of the car. His clothing was found dumped nearby. The A31 road through the New Forest has been closed for more than 2 hours this morning after a Spanish articulated lorry overturned on the westbound carriageway near Picket Post. Diversions were set up while the lorry was righted, and the road is expected to reopen round about now. The Sopley refugee camp near Christchurch, which was scheduled for closure in February, is to stay open to receive more refugees. The first group of 60 refugees will arrive from Hong Kong next month to join the 600 refugees who are already staying at the former RAF base. Vandals are believed to have been responsible for more than £4,000 worth of damage at the Durrington Sports Centre near Worthing. The police say they're sure a fire in a landing mat was started deliberately, and they're also investigating damage to a pole vault on the centre's sports field. They want to speak to anyone who was near the centre early yesterday evening. Well, that's the news. Now, the forecast, it'll become mainly dry from the south during the afternoon, and some bright spells are likely over coastal areas. Temperatures near the sea will be 6 centigrade, but elsewhere remain near 3 centigrade until tomorrow. Outbreaks of moderate to heavy rain accompanying strong, perhaps gale-force southeast winds will return overnight. That's the news for now. We'll be back with a shortened version of South Today at 10 to 6. I hope you'll be able to join us then.
Tonight's feature film at 7:05 is The Day of the Dolphin, starring George C. Scott as a marine biologist. It's the story of some villains and their plot to use dolphins to blow up the president's yacht off the coast of Florida. Then at 9 o'clock, following the news, Artemis 81, a thriller set in Denmark, the United Kingdom, and on an alien planet, which stars Howell Bennett, Dinah Stab, Dan O'Herlihy, and Sting. Artemis 81 begins at 9 o'clock tonight on BBC One. In 15 minutes, it's time to go behind the grease paint with Alfredo Rastelli and his family. First, for our younger viewers, today's Seesaw programme. And Over the Moon, presented by Sam Dale.